In this class, we are going to learn about types of pairs of angles. Before going into the topic, let us see what is angle. The figure formed when two rays meet or share a common endpoint, the figure is called an angle. Here we have a ray OA and another ray we have OB. Now, this figure is called an angle. So, the common endpoint is called vertex and the two arms are called sides of the angle. Okay. Now, the angle is denoted by angle AOB or an angle BOA or simply at angle O. Okay. So, usually, we measure the opening between the two rays in degrees and we use protractor to measure the angle. Okay. Let us see what are the types of pairs of angles. The first type of pair of angles is complementary angles. If the sum of two angles is 90 degrees, then the two angles are said to be complementary angles. Let us see, here we have a angle AOB. Let us measure this angle using protractor. So, we can see angle AOB is equal to 30 degrees and we have another angle here, angle XYZ. Again, using protractor measuring this angle, we get angle XYZ is equal to 60 degrees. Let us add these two angles, that is angle AOB plus angle XYZ, which is equal to 30 degrees plus 60 degrees is equal to 90 degrees. Okay, as the sum of these two angles is 90 degrees, the angle AOB and angle XYZ are said to be complementary angles of each other. That is, the complementary angle of 30 degrees is 60 degrees as well as the complementary angle of 60 degrees is 30 degrees. Okay. So, here we have a table regarding to complementary angles. So, take an angle 70 degrees. Then what is the complementary angle of 70 degrees? The complementary angle of 70 degrees is 90 degrees minus 70 degrees, that is 20 degrees. Again, we have another angle here, 45 degrees. The complementary angle of 45 degrees is 90 degrees minus 45 degrees, which is equal to 45 degrees. If we take 80 degrees, the complementary angle of 80 degrees is 90 minus 80, 10 degrees. And if we take 0 degrees, the complementary of 0 degrees is 90 degrees minus 0 degrees, which is equal to 90 degrees. So, in general, we can say that the complementary angle of x degrees is equal to 90 minus x degrees. Okay. Let us see another type of pair of angles, which is supplementary angles. If the sum of two angles is 180 degrees, then the angles are called supplementary angles. So, here we have a angle PQR and measuring this angle we get angle PQR is equal to 50 degrees. Okay. And take another angle LMN and by measuring this angle we get angle LMN is equal to 130 degrees. And we know the sum of angle PQR and angle LMN is 50 degrees plus 130 degrees, which is equal to 180 degrees. As the sum of these two angles is 180 degrees, the two angles are said to be supplementary angles. That is, supplementary angle of PQR is angle LMN and supplementary angle of angle LMN is angle PQR. That is, supplementary angle of 50 degrees is 130 degrees and supplementary angle of 130 degrees is 50 degrees. Okay. So, in general, we can say that the supplementary angle of x degrees is 180 minus x degrees. So, we have another table here regarding to supplementary angles. So, if you take 70 degrees, the supplementary angle of 70 degrees is 180 minus 70, that is 110 degrees. And if you take 45 degrees, the supplementary angle of 45 degrees is 180 minus 45, which is equal to 135. And similarly, a supplementary angle of 80 is 100 degrees, supplementary angle of 0 degrees is 180 degrees, and in general, the supplementary angle of x degrees is 180 minus x degrees. Okay. Another type of pair of angles we have is adjacent angles. Let us see what is adjacent angles. The angles having a common arm, a common vertex, but do not share any common region are called adjacent angles. Let us see, here we have a picture regarding two angles. In this picture, we have two angles, angles AOB, angle BOC, and we can see another angle also here, angle AOC. So, if we take angle AOB and angle BOC, O is the common vertex and OB is the common arm for these two angles. Okay, that is why we can say that angle AOB and angle BOC are adjacent angles. Okay. So, here we have another picture. In this picture, we can see three angles, angle XOY, angle YOZ and angle XOZ. So, from this picture, the pairs of adjacent angles are angle XOY and angle YOZ and angle YOZ and angle XOZ, as well as angle XOY and angle XOZ. These two are also pair of adjacent angles. Okay. If we take this picture, are angle AOB and angle BOC are adjacent angles? Yes, because angle AOB and angle BOC have common arm and common vertex. So, that these two angles are adjacent angles. Are angle AOB and angle COD adjacent angles? No, because there is no common arm for these two angles. That is why angle AOB and angle COD are not adjacent angles, because there is no common arm for the two angles. Okay. And another pair of angles is linear pair of angles. Let us see what are linear pair of angles. A pair of adjacent angles whose sum is a straight angle, that is 180 degrees, is called a linear pair of angles. So, here we have a picture regarding angles. In this picture, we can say that angle AOB and angle BOC are adjacent angles, because they have a common vertex O and common arm OB. That is why these two are adjacent angles. Let us measure these two angles using protractor. Now, we can see angle AOB is 70 degrees and angle BOC is 110 degrees. So, let us add these two angles. Angle AOB plus angle BOC is equal to 110 degrees plus 170, which is equal to 180 degrees. So, as the sum of these two adjacent angles is 180 degrees, these two angles are said to be linear pair of angles, because these two angles are adjacent as well as their sum is 180. Okay. So, next another type of pair of angles is vertically opposite angles. So, when two lines intersect, the angles that are formed opposite to each other at the point of intersection are called vertically opposite angles. Here we have a picture, and here L and M are intersecting at O. So, there are four angles formed. Now, the angles opposite to vertex are called vertically opposite angles. That is, angle opposite to 1 is angle 3 and angle opposite to 2 is angle 4. So, that the pairs of vertically opposite angles are angle 1 and angle 3 as well as angle 2 and angle 4. Okay. So, usually vertically opposite angles are equal in measurement. In this class, we learned about what is angle and what are the types of pairs of angles.